All right, guys, this is Langston Wertz Jr., Corey Inscoe. We're back again to talk about high school football. The Sweet 16 looks a lot at the top as it's looked the last 2-3 years. Butler, Mallard Creek, 1 and 2. Now Butler's number 1, Mallard Creek's number 2. These teams are trading state championships and trading spots in the Sweet 16. Right now, Butler's number 1.
I almost feel like it should be 1A, 1B or something like that. I mean, the one game they played against each other was a 1-point game. They're both playing really well this season.
Controversial celebration penalty.
Right.
I mean, come on.
Right. So it's really hard to say one's better than the other.
Kids score a touchdown to tie the game with like 2 seconds left.
If that.
What do you expect them to do? They're going to jump up and have a party like it's 1999. Let them celebrate. I hate high school overtime, but in that situation, I think you allow the kids to play it out. I do think Mallard Creek probably would have gone for 2. I hadn't heard that from Coach Palmieri, but my guess is knowing him, he would have gone for 2 in that situation.
Yeah, and that's a tough way to see that kind of that good of a game end on something like that. You hate to see it. Yeah.
But that said, Butler's playing a one heck of a schedule. I mean, Mallard Creek 1 week, it's Mount Tabor another week, it's Page another week, and now they have Richmond County. Is Richmond County going to knock Butler off their perch?
I don't know. I think if I had to pick right now, I'd pick Butler, but I think that's going to be a really good game. I think, Butler's, Coach Hauser said this, he's got, some of the 4 hardest games to start out the season. He's played Mallard Creek, he's played Page, he's played Mount Tabor, he's going to play Richmond.
Looks a lot like a 4 AA play.
I mean, that's a tough stretch to start your team out with, but he's got to know where they are, and so far they've proven themselves through 3 games.
You know what I like, though? I like to see Butler and Mallard Creek get out of the state a little bit. I like to see them, go play some South Carolina teams, go play some Virginia teams, play some of these national powers. I don't know if there's a way to play De La Salle, but play some of these national powers and see how you stack up against those teams, because I kind of fear when you play the teams you're going to play later on in the playoffs, they get to see you, they get used to you. I don't know if that really is the best thing, but for us as fans, it's wonderful to have these types of games. Richmond County is going to bring a huge crowd to Providence. The game's too big for Butler. They have to move it. And a lot of green and gold. It feels like a third-round playoff game. I think Butler wins. I think Butler probably learned from the slow start against Tabor with the 4 turnovers. They can't play this way and get where they want to get to. But I see Butler winning. What about you?
I agree. I'm with you.
All right, next game we're going to talk about is Monroe at Charlotte Christian. Charlotte Christian was up at Hargett 20-16 on Friday before the heavens opened, and everybody need the ark to get home. And I kind of understand them saying, let's call it a game, because here's Charlotte Christian. They don't want to have to go back to Wilmington on Saturday or Monday and then turn around and play Monroe, which is going to be angry because they lost to unbeaten Weddington. And the beautiful thing is that's 2 of the best small school programs around. I love to see these great small public and private school teams play. I want to see Shelby play Charlotte Christian.
Right.
I want to see Catholic play Charlotte Christian for that matter. But Monroe has a great program. They went to a state championship game last year. They're playing the 3A private school state champs. This is as good a matchup as you'll find in North Carolina.
Yeah, again, Charlotte Christian, another team that's really gone out of their way to schedule some of these bigger games, really tough opponents. I mean, they played in the private school league, but they're willing to go out and play a Mallard Creek to start the season, a 4A school in Hoggard, and Monroe, a really good 2A school. So it's fun to see those games and really kind of see how these private school teams stack up against some of the state's bigger public
Charlotte
teams.
Christian's non-conference schedule is better than 90% of the big-time 4A teams' non-conference schedule. So kudos to Coach Estep and his crew for over there doing that. And what about Huff going to Independence? And I'm sure Independence, which hasn't given up a point all year,
that still blows my mind. They haven't done
is
that.
going to remember how Huff celebrated when Huff upset them. And Huff says it's not an upset. When Huff beat Independence last year at Huff. That's going to be a one heck of a game.
And that was such a close game. If I remember correctly, I covered that note, but I believe it came down to a mixed extra point at some point in the game. It was a 1-point game, really close there at the end. So I'm sure that Independence remembers that game from last year, and they're going to try to keep their scoreless against them streak going.
One of our reporters, Herb White, covered Independence against West Mac on Monday. We're filming this on Tuesday morning. He covered Independence on Monday night, and I said, is this the Independence of old? Is this like the streak Independence, 109 straight games, 7 straight state championships? Is this that Independence? He said, not quite, but they're close. That's what he said.
That's saying a lot.
They're close. We know Coach Evans has the offense rolling because they've been rolling on offense since it's been, even when Gallo was there, they had offense rolling. The question has always been the defense. And somehow they figured out the defense. And I'm telling you what, I know we do a lot of talking about Butler and Mallard Creek, but watch out for the Patriots.
I mean, I don't care who you're playing. To go through this many games and not have a point scored against you is impressive.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I see those three teams. I also like Vance.
Oh yeah,
is a team. And you know what's funny? Last night Mount Tabor was up 21-7. I kind of feel like the whole state was kind of inching up closer to the table because, like, you know what? We got a chance this year.
Right?
No, you don't have a chance this year. Charles football is as strong as ever. What do you think?
I think so too. And Vance is a team that we haven't talked about a ton, I don't think. But I mean, them going to the South Point and winning that game on Friday.
Yeah, incredible.
I mean, they've really proven themselves. I want to go out and see them. I haven't gotten to see them play this year, but they seem like they're the real deal this year.
At Richmond County, at South Point, back to back, give Richmond County all they wanted. Had the ball to 16, one play to win the game, and then go to South Point and dominate. It's pretty impressive. So Aaron Brand told me he was going to do this, and I know he's a great coach. He backed it up. So watch out for the Cougars, watch out for the Patriots, and you know about Mallard Creek and Independence. And then private school, Charlotte Christian. I mean, Charlotte football is
really strong.
Good as ever.
So strong.
Everybody can push back from the table. See you guys next week. It's Langston. That's Corey.